My name is Gubrud. I highly recommend any electrical projects at your home be done by a professional who's been trained. A lot of these installs seem very simple, but done incorrectly can be hazardous or dangerous for you and your family. Hey, how's everybody doing today? My name is Gubrud, the owner of Gubruds Electrical Services. I wanted to go over some typical home improvements that a lot of do-it-yourselfers are doing at home today. To me, it's a safety issue that a lot of people aren't instructed how to do it properly. So I thought if you are going to choose that path and decide to do your own work, I'd give you a couple tips to make sure you're doing it safely so you and your family are safe. So today I'm going to show you the proper way to install your standard wall receptacle. You're going to find in a lot of homes they use a method that we call backstabbing in these receptacles. You'll notice holes in the back of the receptacles. These holes are intended for speed when you're building production homes. They designed these to allow electricians to install these devices a lot quicker. My opinion on them is that they're not that safe, and I'm going to explain why. And when we're done, we'll post a couple pictures or photos of some of the jobs that we've done where we pull them out and what can happen. Not that your house is in danger, but they're old. A lot of these systems have been installed for the last 30 years or more. So it's time to start maybe replacing or looking at updating these to make your home safer. So I'm just going to install a couple, explain to you what I'm doing, and if you have any questions, post them in the link, and we'll answer any questions you have. So I'm going to start with this stab-in receptacle. I've already stripped some wires. I think most people who are doing electrical work probably have a pair of wire strippers and know how to strip the wire. You're going to strip the wire to the gauge setting on the back of the receptacle. I'm not sure if you can see that, but if you do look at the receptacle, you're going to notice a little gauge in the back. Follow that gauge, and it's really straightforward. You're going to need a screwdriver and a pair of needle nose pliers to do the job properly. So what I do, I'm going to go ahead and put a little twist on the top of my ground wire and ground it to the ground terminal. If you can see that, it wraps around clockwise the direction that the screw is turning, and you want to do that and tighten it around there. As you can see how that's tightened, you want to do it that way so when you tighten that screw, it's going to help tighten that wire onto the terminal as you're installing that device. You give it a good snug fit. There are torque settings on here, but a lot of people don't have torque wrenches designed for electrical, so just give it a look. Make sure your connections are tight. That's your enemy in electrical connections, is that everything is tight. So this is your stab-in receptacle method. Black wire is going to go to your gold screw. You put your wire into the stab receptacle, give it a push. Make sure there is no copper conductor showing on the back side of that. So when you put that receptacle back in the receptacle box, you have no chance of your ground wire hitting that conductor. Then you do the same for your white wire. This is your neutral wire, otherwise known as your common wire. That'll go to your white terminal. And that's about it. Give them a good tug. Make sure, see, you can see I pulled on that one and it's a little loose still. Not a fan of this method. I'm teaching you how to do this, so if you do it right. But I'm going to teach another method that I would prefer you use instead of the backstabbing method. So same process. Take your needle nose pliers, take your conductor, put a nice little loop in it. And again, the trick to this is to make sure you do a nice clean loop and that you put your looped conductor on your screw with it to tighten clockwise with the turn of the screw. Hopefully that's making sense to you. So again, you can see it's nice and tight. Make sure the power's off. I should have disclaimed that at the very beginning. Never do this with a light receptacle. Same thing, white wire to white terminal. And hopefully you can see that. Same thing, I'm just going to take and give it a little bit of, it's a little difficult with the wire hanging around here, but we'll get the point across to you. Same thing, tighten it. Make sure it's good and tight. Again, you can kind of get the method that we're doing here. It gives good surface contact. That entire wire being squished between the receptacle and that screw that's tightening down is giving it good surface contact. The method that we went over here, there's not much contact inside that receptacle that's continuing that circuit. But this is a much more robust and safer way. I've been doing this since I started. I was taught this method, and since we do service work, I have disassembled probably hundreds of devices where that backstab method has failed. So that's about it, folks. That's a properly installed receptacle. Again, if you have more than one wire coming into the receptacle box, you just use the other terminal. But again, use the terminals when possible. There's another method, I'm gonna do another video called pigtailing, which is the best way to do when you have multiple wires in a box. But that's for another day. I hope I've shed some light on this. Hope your home's safer. Be safe out there with everything going on. And again, if you have any questions, contact Gubrud Services. We're always here to help.